I want to show you how to use PowerDefines. And to begin with, we want to make sure we have the most updated PowerDefine dictionary, real-time command dictionary. So I would suggest you make a new sample user, because then all those entries, you simply do it that way, pick your icon, all that good stuff. And I called mine sample user. And what this does is it creates all those default files that Stenograph places into a user to begin with. And these will be the most updated. I'm on version 20, it's the most recent release. So if we go into System Files, and here's your PowerDefines. Now when you PowerDefine, it's going to open a dialog box. And these are the commands that will navigate you through the box. Don't get excited. It seems like a lot, but we're going to keep it simple. You're going to need to memorize 2 major commands, and that's it. And it's really one stroke. You either stroke it twice or once, and you do one to close the box, and you're good to go. So with anything new, let's keep it simple so that way you can memorize it. It's all about muscle memory, and then you can add things to it as you like when you get a nice confidence level going. So when you invoke the PowerDefine and it opens the dialog box, this is going to be the dictionary that takes highest priority. And because of that, these strokes will move you up and down and toggle you through the box. And these are the alphabet strokes. It will also use your personal dictionary, case dictionary, or job dictionary if you have those as well attached to your job. And it will do them in whatever priority you have them set at. If you don't set a priority, then it'll be PowerDefine, case, job, personal, in that order. And if you don't have any of those in between, then those won't be included, of course. Alright, so the strokes that I want you to be familiar with are tab. So any dialog box, you tab through it, right? So our tab stroke is going to be def. Now, like anything else, these are just suggested strokes. So if you have a stroke that you like better, then use that one. Simply modify it and change the steno stroke for it. Here's the only caveat. If your stroke is the same stroke as a dictionary entry, that will be a problem. So it needs to be something that's not in your personal dictionary or any of the case or job dictionaries. For me, def is not a stroke in either of those dictionaries for me, so I was able to use it. Then another one is suspend. So if you open the dialog box and you're not able to get through it and they start talking, you need to go back on the record in a real-time file, you can hit suspend. But as well, you can simply abort, which will close the box. It won't save anything that you've done, and it'll just close the box. For me personally, this stroke isn't one I can make because I'm a sloppy writer. I work around it. So for me, this stroke is easier if I do B-A-O-R-T with an S. And then when I write abort, when I'm real-timing, I just simply do it in 2 strokes. It doesn't come up as often, so it's easier for me to do it that way. The stroke right below it is accept and continue. What this does is we'll accept the entry that you've made in your PowerDefine dialog box, close it, and open a new one so you can keep going and make multiple entries all at the same time. As we go further down, we're going to see the enter stroke. This will enter what entry you made in your PowerDefine dialog box and close it and put you back into your real-time file. So really, to boil it down, you need an enter stroke that works for you, an abort stroke that works for you, and a tab stroke that works for you in this list. So make sure the steno is something that's not in your personal dictionary, not something you'll probably use, and then those are the ones you want to go with. And you just leave them here. But that's where you're going to find them if you ever need to make a change to them. They have the alphabet already in here, but it will also use the alphabet that you have existing in your personal dictionary as well. Alright, so what we need to do, we're going to close this. The next dictionary you need to have is your real-time commands dictionary. So this is a great dictionary of all kinds of real-time commands to use. I don't use the entire thing, so I do not check this one when I translate a file because I don't want everything that's in it. I don't need it all. And to power define, we just need a few of them. So when we stroke this twice, it will bring up the PowerDefine dialog box. Same with scan. And what it does is it goes back, finds the last untran, and will open the PowerDefine dialog box for you. So my suggestion is I take entries from here that I like and I want and I know I'm going to use, and I'll put them into my personal dictionary. I don't always remember to check boxes when I get started and uncheck them if it's a different case or a different day. So I have to make things simple and easy for myself in memorization. So I put these into my personal dictionary. I just copy them. So if you ever have a problem, you can go back here, look at what it was, and change it, modify it. But so if you change the stroke, you don't have to worry about digging through your personal dictionary trying to find it. It's right here all the time in a very small dictionary of only 93, and you can change it, make it something that needs to work better for you. The other entry is, this will open a PowerDefine dialog box, so you can only create an e-define instead of something that would be in your personal dictionary or job dictionary or case dictionary. The other command in here that you may want to try is the easy speaker. So you can also use your PowerDefine box to open the easy speaker box and create easy speakers on the fly. So these are the items that I would, if you copy into as you like, and I would just start with the simple one. Just start with the def and the scan and maybe work those out and add the others if you like. So to copy an entry into your dictionary, you just simply copy it to your dictionary. Now because we made this in a new user, we're going to have to put it in my dictionary. And actually this one's a new one that's stenographed, so I don't have it. So I'm going to copy it into another user. So we need to go up the list. That's me. System files. And then we will come down here to my personal dictionary. So now I've copied this into my personal dictionary. So that's how you can copy things also from one user to another without having to paste copy and all that good stuff. You can just simply move it. I always like to copy. You can always go backwards. It's easier to solve your problems if you're able to go backwards and see where you started with it, and especially if you're making a lot of changes. Alright, so I started a file, so let's power define some things. We're going to talk about spreadsheets today, and we're going to talk about column A and column B all the time. And I don't want to write those out, so I'm going to make a new brief for them on the fly. So I'm going to do def, as you can see in the right bottom, and it opens my PowerDefine dialog box. And my column A is now going to be this. So I'm going to write column space A, and I'm going to add it to my personal dictionary. I use the stroke def to tab from field to field. I can choose 1 or 2 for my job or personal dictionary, and then I'm going to hit enter, which will close the dialog box. And I can go right back to my real-time file. The other thing I can do is, let's say you get started and everything gets out of hand, you can't get through these fast enough. I'm just going to hit abort. It'll close the dialog box. Alright, so I'm going to define column B as this new stroke, and it's going to be my column space B. And I'm going to again add it to my job dictionary because I don't want it to go into my personal dictionary. And this is where I am someone who uses the update area. So when I choose personal dictionary, it's going to go into my update area so I can see what I've power defined and choose where I want it to go as a last ditch effort. Sometimes you get going, things are going fast, and you may make an entry that you really didn't want because you were in a hurry. So this is a way to undo it before it ends up in your personal dictionary. Just a word to the wise. So I'm going to close that again. So, well, let's see, the hardest part to do is to write and talk, right? So we're going to keep going, and we're going to talk about Mr. Martin. Well, for whatever reason I wrote it like that instead of how I regularly do. So I'm going to hit scan, scan. It's going to open up the dialog box for me, and I'm able to write what I want. Go back. I can make this a defined, or I can just simply replace it without defining it, which is an option. So I'm going to choose 3 because I just need to clean it up a little bit, and hit enter and close the box again. That's how simple power defining is, and I hope you take the time to learn a few of these.